Hey. Really? That's fine, I guess. The way these cords get tangled with each other sometimes, it's like, how did that even... I mean, I'll still take it over wireless, jeez. In case it wasn't already abundantly obvious, playing Sonic 3D lasts. So, welcome, by the way, to Season 2 of My Genesis, My Story. So, there's a lot to be said about this game. But knowing now what I know about what was going on with Sega, the conflict between Sega of America and Sega of Japan, and how... It's so good. This music's so good. How Sega of America was really pushing the Genesis' lifespan a bit too far. It kind of pains me to say that, as someone that doesn't like just throwing things away just because they're old. And the Mega Drive is my favorite system ever, but the Saturn needed help. And Sega, in all reasons, should have been all in on the Saturn. And this game wasn't even going to originally be a Sonic game, I don't think. But Sega really needed Sonic back in the spotlight when Sonic Extreme fell through. So this got to be almost, sort of, kind of a sequel to Flicky, and then a send-off for Genesis-era Sonic. And as a kid who didn't know any better in 1996, I was extremely pleased to get another Sonic Adventure on my system. In 96, I didn't have a PlayStation just yet. Definitely not an N64, that was too expensive. I didn't have a Saturn. So it was cool to have games like this, Vector Man 2, still coming out. I was still renting games like Virtua Racing, and then there was games like Comic Zone. So, you know, I still felt some love. But 1996, even though I wasn't even a teenager yet, I hit puberty super early, even earlier than most girls do. I was already experiencing a lot of crisis of faith. I'd already endured, like, 5 straight years of non-stop, like, everyday, relentless bullying. So I was already in a pretty dark place, so this is one of the games that really helped me out a lot. So for like an hour and change at a time in my day, I could go to a cheerful place where I could make a difference and be a hero and hang out with Sonic and his friends. And I knew even then that, you know, this game was not in the same league as all the Sonic games that came before it, except maybe Sonic Spinball. I like Sonic Spinball, but I can see also where that's kind of, it's also very much its own thing. And that can be a bit of an acquired taste. There's a lot to like about this game. Like, first of all, it has a nice sense of, like, oral continuity, like the sound effects and stuff carrying straight over from Sonic 3. And Knuckles being here as a friend and an ally. There's a nice little bit of subtle continuity from Sonic 3 and Knuckles. You know, the whole 3D thing is a bit overblown. I think technically this falls within the 2.5D realm. I don't know. Digital Foundry or GameSat could probably break it down better on a technical level, but... And of course, mid-90s, a lot of companies were in love with using pre-rendered models as sprites to try to, like, make it look like it was a 3D model, even though it was still a 2D asset. And so unfortunately, you get a Sonic model based on a 3D image, but he looks really stiff. His animation is kind of awkward. I think all the effort was put into, like, making it a nice 3D model first, and then giving him good animation second. And I think Traveler's Tales did a good job with this game, overall. This is one area, like the special stages, kind of feel like probably thrown in last minute. Like, the background effect's kind of cool. But there's really no difficulty to speak of. I mean, I guess maybe for your kids, like, if this is, like, their first ever platformer, but... There's no denying how good the soundtrack is, though. Like, some of these compositions are so good, and so thoroughly Sonic that they got another chance at life in Sonic Adventure with new arrangements. I was, like, angled the wrong way toward the camera. Or is the camera angled the wrong way toward me? I don't know, who can say? So yes, Season 2. Can you believe it? Look how far we've come in a short time. Oops. There was a one up there. Oh well. We're not really... We're not gonna need it, but it's nice to know it's there. Am I, like... Sometimes, with these cameras, I'm like... My spatial orientation's like... No, if you want to appear... If you want to go that way in the frame, you need to go this way in the real world. Like... Whoops. I'm a professional. So, I don't expect everyone to have watched every video of mine. Like, that's silly, especially given that some of them are a bit on the long side. But if you missed it, in my Season 1 ending credits video, I talked a little bit about what's coming up this season. So, the episode after this one was filmed at the beginning of August. So, it's gonna have little touches that will seem probably like I'm regressing in quality in a couple little areas, but that's just because I filmed it, like, almost 2 months before this one. And that's gonna be the last video where, at the end, I make a small little spiel just about, like, hey, here's the tip jar, and, like, if you can support the channel, it's appreciated. It's like... And I don't say that, sarcastically as, like, a dig at other creators. Like, I don't think you're a bad person or a bad creator if you have a Patreon or if you have a tip jar, or... I think there are friendly and congenial and, like, you know, authentic ways of asking if someone can like the video, or, you know, if they have an interest in, you know, lending a few extra bucks to the cause. Here's the means to do so. Like, I think there's ways to do that that aren't, like, totally tasteless and tacky. So I'm not trying to cast any stones here toward fellow creators on YouTube or other platforms. It's just, you've all seen it. You've seen when it get cringy, and where you make it feel like, oh, the channel's gonna die, you know, if you don't pledge. Like that's only happened in a few instances, like, you know, with Classic Game Room, when YouTube, like, destroyed the show's ad revenue, and, you know, Mark tried to save the show through crowdfunding. You know, that's a different context, but, you know, if I get on here and be like, oh, how's the channel gonna survive unless you buy me coffee? Or, like, hey everyone, here's this person you've never heard of, but, you know, they're expecting you to finance the upgrade to their channel. You know, it's like, hey, buy me a better mic. Like, okay, yeah, if you make 6 figures and you're extremely generous, are bound and determined that you want to make somebody's day, but, you know, by all means. I don't expect that. Anyway, I went on that diatribe just because, like, hey, the video after this one was where I was kind of, like, going through the last little throes of, I don't know, I was giving into the pressure of, like, oh, you should, in your videos, you should talk about, you know, ways people can throw a little bit of extra support your way financially. I'm just like, I don't know how to do that in a way that is even remotely, like, authentic, and, I don't know. And part of that also, I think, is a struggle I've had for my whole life of valuing my own creativity and art and my own worth as far as time and energy. Like, I think I'm better at it than I was, say, in my 20s, but I'm used to not having those things seen as valuable, so I'm trying to unlearn that. So something else I've realized as part of doing this channel, and this playlist in particular, is up to this point, I've considered, like, all the crazy things that have happened, especially since 2020, that, like, you know, been healing from that, but really, upon reflection, I think it really hasn't been until I started this channel properly and really kind of confronting myself and some of my own demons, and you know, and the roadblocks that, you know, you go through as a creative person. It's coming to the realization that, like, a lot of the things that really hit me hard, say in the last 5 years, in particular, that really, what you all have seen is the beginning of my healing journey, and how, in the process, I hope that as I work through it and confront the challenges of these games at the same time as my own personal challenges, that maybe by bearing witness to that process, that it can help you if you're going through similar struggles, especially as a creative person. Or any other person that feels like a misfit of any sort. How was the music allowed to be this good? Just cuz. Not totally happy. I got everything else basically how I wanted it. I think I should have played with the placement of you, the camera, a little bit more, but it's okay. Next time. Or I guess next time, since episode 2 is already filmed. I also gave away in the Season 1 ending credits that Road Rash is coming up, but you don't know when. That's gonna be a big episode. Y'all know, since this channel was being prototyped, Road Crash has been on the agenda, so... There's also going to be something starting in episode 3, specific to October. I'm not going to spoil that one, except to say that it's not necessarily spooky season, although there will be some streams and other things where we play some spooky games. One in particular... Hey! Is gonna be, for me, very experimental, so... I hope it finds its audience. Let's just say that. But okay. What I was trying to work my way around to, in a impromptu way, but talking about when I filmed Vector Man, because it was the beginning of August, it's still very hot, and now we're finally near the end of September. It's officially autumn. It's still too hot, but things are cooling down a bit. Now, obviously not when you're watching this, but the day that I'm filming this is my birthday. And yeah, I'm probably the last person remaining on Earth that would, like, voluntarily play Sonic 3D Blast on their birthday, but that's me. I don't mind saying that I love this game. Like, I know it has problems. It's not the same caliber of game as what came before it. And although I think the Saturn version is the superior one, and we'll talk about that, so we're gonna do a playthrough of that one as well. But, you know, as a Genesis game, it's not as good as the other Sonic games. And as a Saturn game, it's not, like, the exclusive game that Saturn owners were looking for or deserved. It was never going to be really a strong competitor for Mario 64. But it does not deserve to be maligned the way it has been. Like, this is an excellent game, just, like, maybe a bit misdirected, but undercooked, needed more time. There's a director's cut where I think the lead designer, I'm probably using the wrong title, but actually was able to go back and kind of, like, as a homebrew ROM hack sort of thing, like, add back in a lot of the things that they wanted to have in the retail version, which is really cool. But if time permitted and the resources were available, like, I think making the levels bigger, but also maybe having a lot more enemies, and maybe having something where you don't always know which enemies are going to have flickies. And then maybe you can only access certain parts of the levels when you have a certain number of flickies, or a certain type of flicky. So just things like that could maybe have really given the game more of its own flavor, and then also made it less predictable, added a little bit more spice, a little more challenge. And since this game isn't as fast as the other Sonics, just maybe strengthening the exploration aspects of it could have made up for that. Cha-ching! Alright, this is the only level I don't care for too much, but at least it's colorful, I'll give it that. It knows how to have a good time, I guess. And since it's my birthday, you know, let's have a good time. I'm such a party animal, I tell ya. I always do that in this level. I always go to this part too fast. Like, wait a minute, there's 2 other enemies to defeat. I feel like I'm playing Side Pocket again. What's up, Nux? What you got for me? Bonus stage. Okay. Well, I just hit the mic. I'm sorry! Forgive me! Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Darn it, darn it. You can't stop me, I'm in 3-dimensional space and time. If you get enough of those medallions, you can get a continue. That's really the only thing that, like, you're kind of rewarded for, like, for being able to access when you have a full set of Flickies with you. Because you can't get some of those without having all of the birds with you, so. There's my water. You can listen to the music for a second. Oh my gosh, that's so good. The hydrogen really brings out the flavor in the water, you know? 2 parts of that for every 1 part of oxygen, so. You know, I don't think I've heard this particular composition in stereo. Nice, I'm getting like that high melody. I didn't really notice it so much before. It's the one that's panned hard right. That's really nice. Oh, I guess I should grab those rings. As I almost lose them. Ah! Shields up, Captain. Oh yeah, we're gonna do Star Trek at some point. But you won't know when. Until it's too late, and then you're already too deeply invested in the geekdom on this channel to escape. Hey. I mean, these get slightly harder, but it's just... compared to really, like, any of the other Sonic special stages, it's kind of like... just needed more time in the oven, just needed, like, more stuff. More playtesting and balancing. No Supersonic in this one. That was added in the director's cut if you play that version. And now we can just blast our way through the rest of this game. Not the kind of bouncy castle I wanted. Come hither, Flicky. And just like that, maximum Flicky bonus achieved. I must have been dehydrated, because this water is, like, especially good. It's really slapping, as the kids would say. Maybe the kids are... Hey, maybe the kids are already done saying that. Maybe that's already retro. Come on, Robotnik, this attack pattern is so 1990s. Whack, 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 whack. Actually, it's almost like more like 80s, but... Well, it's working, I'm still getting hit. It's not being a goofball. Could you maybe venture a little further from these rings, Robotnik? I don't like this. You're making me uncomfortable. Thank you. This is one of those bosses where it's sometimes tricky to tell where, like, the arms are, because it's not, like... It's not 3D space in the way a lot of you are used to thinking of it. Like, it kind of is, because, like, you can be under something, over something, to the left or right. So there's like three... It's like there are three axes to... You can be in relation to something, but it's like... And yet not. It's kind of... There's some weirdness with this. It's a trick, but... What's really gonna bake your noodle later on is... All video games are a trick. None of it's real. And even the latest and greatest games, still wireframes, polygons, with textures. Yeah, there's more that goes into it now, but fundamentally speaking, that's still what it is. It's an illusion, and the illusionists have just gotten better. But it's kind of like... trying to do a better job of being fake, instead of just embracing the fact that it's not real, and exploring things that we couldn't really do in other media. There's, like, this obsession with cinematic hyperrealism, trying to, like, convince your senses that this other world is as real as this one. It's like, no, and it never will be. Sonic 3D Philosophy Blast. That's what we're playing. As I almost die horribly. Do you want to freeze, hun? Come here. Oh. Whoops. You want to build a snowman? Let's not. supposed to jump over it. Was this one of the ones that you could... Yeah. I think when you have all the emeralds, some shortcuts like that back to other parts of the level aren't that important, but it's cool that it's there. Yes! Excuse me, Mr. Penguin. Yeah, another cool thing that carried over from this, from Sonic 3 and Knuckles, is the idea of, like, each zone has its own music, but then from Act 1 to Act 2 it gets remixed. So, like, there's the same motif, but it gets, there's, like, new parts of the arrangement, and it's, like, sometimes it has, like, a tempo or a tonality shift to it. It's really cool. I think this one has a... It might be a key change. That's beautiful. Excuse me, I was about to do that to you. Why do these compositions have to make me want to cry? So pretty. Oh yeah. Now that's some boss music. Oh, that harmonization. That galloping kick drum? Oof. It didn't have to go this hard, but I'm glad it did. I am here for it, Sega. Almost didn't want the boss fight to end because the music was so good. Don't ever let anyone tell you that Mega Drive music is bad. It'd probably work for IGN. They probably never played a classic game on anything but an emulator. Oops, I said that out loud. Oh well. It's not like a mainstream gaming publication would ever hire me anyway. It's so cute that the Flickies also get your same shield. Ah, it's adorable. Where the heck did I miss the other... Aha. Flickies be free. Hey, Tails. This is where I should have been sitting. Whoops. I need a chair. Off you go, buddies. Unbelievably good. Holy crap. Egads. Imagine if I had grabbed that. I would have greatly inconvenienced myself in my adventure. Can you imagine being inconvenienced while playing a video game? The horror! The drama. My poor back. Oh no, oh no. I lost, hey, oh shoot. That's not good. I lost my sense of spatial awareness for a second. It's easy to do in this kind of game. But when you hit this boss, if you just let yourself bounce, you should land on the pipes and be okay. Should. I'll shoot. There's a very small margin of error, apparently, for that landing, but... Oh, jeez. That doesn't sound very friendly. Just because it's lava. It's hot in there. Is it hot for you? Imagine if I'd spin dash too early there. Oh, the horrors that await. Actually, this level's pretty cool. I just don't like these turrets. Pretty fly for an octopi. What you doing, buddy? I don't know, being a badnik and stuff. Probably should have saved that. Yeah. The blue shield gives you this protection of the lightning shield from Sonic 3, but it doesn't have the magnetic effect on rings. Or the double jump. Come hither, my feathered friend. Whee! You're gonna have to boot me more than that to make an impression. Just for funsies. Okay. This is an area where you have to be a lot more patient with your jumps. It's in spots like this where the platforming's just not as precise as the old game sets for sure. Oh, that's where that came from. Okay. I could have saved myself a trip to get that purple flicky. Duly remembered for future playthroughs. Perhaps a speedrun? Who can say? Oh my gosh, no, no, no. We need to go this way. Ooh, you actually got me with your boop. Unbeknownst to you, but known to me, I had a shield. In reserve. My dude. You need to head this way. See that giant glowing hedgehog? Head toward it. Ah, jeez. Yeah, this game's engine's biggest weakness is these, like, slopes. Yeah, good luck if you land on one. Yay, Flicky get! Oh, it just gets better. Yep. This is kind of like the Quartz Quadrant boss in Sonic CD, but a bit more dangerous. One more ought to do it. It is cool that you can actually see his ship take damage as the fight goes on. That's a nice little touch. Oh, it's on now. Whoops. I feel as though I enunciated that like Bart Simpson. Oh, come on. I did watch a lot of Simpsons as a kid, so... There may still be some residual after effects all these years later, so... That was uncalled for. But I guess you were doing your job, so... Where's the last one? Hey, microphone, you are not allowed to fall over. That's why you have a little platform, little feet. Oh my gosh. Oh, I came all this way. Irritations. I thought the last Flicky was in that little section before the ring. Obviously, I was mistaken. Did I not go down this one? Aha! At last, his secret is revealed! Grapevine. Halo 3. But how did that still... Oh. Oops. Probably not a good sign that my ribcage hurts from breathing. Perhaps I've spent an entire day with nothing but shallow breath. And or bad posture. Who can say? Hold on. Okay, wait a second, Sonic. This music is... Also, this level gives the one taste of what we could have had if this game was allowed to really cut loose a lot more. There's no Flickies to rescue. There's a lot more obstacles and enemies. Get. Are you serious? Kind of a weird place to put a pipe, but, you know. Then again, I'm not a mad scientist. So. Perhaps I just can't fathom that thought process. Okay. Alright, what are we doing here? The hit zone on this boss is really weird. to me it is. It's like you're trying to hit the shoulder, but yet not quite, because if you hit, like, too close to the arm thingy, you can take damage. It's like... There's like a sweet spot. It's not extremely small, but like it's just between the blue light and where the moving asset, the sprite, is. Case endpoint. You also have to get the one that's flashing. I think you can chain multiple hits, I'm just forgetting in the moment how to. Come on. Are you serious? Come on. Okay, you don't have to do it by the flashing light, but... G-Bus. Okay, all of a sudden he's like... There we go. There we go. It's like... I think I was just trying to bounce in the wrong spot. You can't bounce, like, on the bosses in the older games, but you know what I mean. Okay. So this... Yeah, this extra final boss you only get if you've acquired all of the Chaos Emeralds in order to fake the final weapon. I mean, it feels a little unfair to compare this to the Doomsday Zone, which is like, you know, the most epic thing ever, but... This is pretty cool, though. This music feels kind of... Oh, shoot. Feels kind of, got some Game Gear vibes going on. I like it. Oh, he's serious. paraphrase Jane Cobb, boy, it sure would be nice to have some rings, wouldn't you think? Oh, I missed my chance. Sitting here too worried about Firefly. Okay. Oh no! Why do I do this to myself in these Sonic Let's Plays? I should have stayed in the other corner. See, now if I want to say I got my one credit clear... Too busy talking to the camera. Now I have to do another run to do a 1cc of this. It's such a first world problem. It's this part I don't like. Oh, yeah, no. It's like, it doesn't perfectly match the sound effect. That sound effect's also been used in Sonic and Knuckles. The hands, I think they come down just slightly before the audio cue would make you believe. I think that's what you have to listen for and look for. Maybe it'd be smarter to just dash from side to side. No. Well, maybe it's not as delayed as I thought. Maybe it was just that. Well, or maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe I'm just tired. It is also annoying, the rings you drop seem to disappear, like, especially fast on the boss stages. I don't know if that's a programming thing, I don't know if having the boss sprite on the screen means that the rings can't stay in play as long, I don't know. If that would even be a thing, but... So you really want to just stay in this corner, because you haven't... Oh my gosh. You have an easier time kind of seeing where all of the projectiles are in this spot. I don't know why I thought moving... It's like I was trying to over-anticipate moving to the next area. Silly me. It is kind of like, really? We once CC'd one Gunstar Heroes, but then Sonic 3D Blast, like... Really the easiest of the Sonic games, like, you still lost a life, like come on, Jessica. Get your shit together. It's also a lesson, don't be overconfident. Just because you're proficient doesn't mean you're perfect. Ooh, I almost ran into that one. I'm not a fan of you guys. I gotta be honest. See, the video could have been over by now if I just stayed in my little corner. It's fine. Everything's fine, honey. Got through the final fight. Yeah, we did. I don't think I need this anymore. Woo! Nobody messes with my friends. He's so pure. Yeah, I needed this in 1996. Like, So, thank you, Sega. Thanks, Traveler's Tales. I needed that in 96. I needed it now. Yeah, it's my birthday. It's a good day. Yeah, overall, I'd say. But I do spend a lot of time thinking about mortality. There's a lot that still needs to be course corrected, but that's why we're here. We're in this together. Trying to reconnect all of y'all to what most of the world was ready to throw in the trash. Maybe we can help each other in this community, and we have, which the retro community. You know, no community is perfect. You know, there's some weirdness, but, like, the people that I've made acquaintance with, truly amazing. I like the passion for, these games, these systems, and the art form. It's been terrific. Well, that was probably the shortest credits scroll in all of the Genesis Sonic games. Yeah, you don't unlock any goodies. That's fine. It's unbelievably good. So, thanks for watching, y'all. Tried to make that a pretty good run. Goofed a little at the end, but it's okay. So, Sonic 3D Blast, yeah. Again, doesn't hold up to its predecessors, but it doesn't deserve the hate and the ridicule. I mean, there are things about its release and conception that are worth criticizing on Sega's part, but it's a good game. I think if you kind of extract the buzzwords and the hype, the kind of marketing hoopla that we had back then, even though I think marketing in the 90s was better and it had its own charm and a spunk to it, but you take that stuff out of it and just come at it as just a bit of a different take on Sonic. Just a fun isometric action platformer. You know, nothing too crazy or challenging or particularly groundbreaking, but Also really good for kids. Like, I mean, most of the Sonic games have a good appeal for kids and adults, but, you know, if you've got a youngster just starting out with platforming and they love Sonic, maybe start them out with this one. This one has been re-released on, like, the majority of the Sonic compilations, so it's easy enough to come by. Unfortunately, the Saturn version, which I consider superior, always gets left behind. And it makes me sad. I feel like I don't see why it should be such a big deal to make this version, along with the Genesis one, equally available on the compilations, and just let you choose which version. Just the same way on Sonic CD, where now on modern releases you can flip between the Japanese and the US soundtracks. So, but yeah, we'll visit this guy. He'll definitely get some love. But I've carried on a bit too long already after the credits. Do you know how I be sometimes with my Genesis games? Especially once I get back into the sound tests. I'll be here for a minute. But thanks again, and welcome to Season 2. So, for those of you mainly tuning in for this playlist, I'll see you next week in Vector Man. Well, past me, we'll see future you in Vector Man. Others that like to watch all the rest of the videos, we'll see you tomorrow in some more Sega Saturn Outrun. Stay Mega Driven, y'all.